And welcome back to Love Your Food. This week we have a dessert recipe for you. We're sticking with the bao, but these are going to be bananas Foster filled, deep fried bao. And we'll go through the whole process with you in just a minute. First, I'd like to remind everyone of our Patreon. If you'd like to help us keep the lights on, support us there, you can find the link in the description below, as well as an affiliate link for Chef's Temp. If you need a kitchen thermometer, check that out as well. And here are our ingredients. So here's our bao dough, some banana, some brown sugar, a little bit of cornstarch, a little bit of cinnamon, some butter, and a little bit of rum. And we've got a really nice aged rum here. You can use whatever rum you prefer. A dark sweet rum like Kraken or Blackwell would work very well in this as well. Now we're going to start with our banana. These are just about perfectly ripe, so for this recipe we're just using the one, and we are going to mash it up in our bowl here. Now if you want this to be chunkier, you can just sort of dice it, but it's going to be a different texture, which is fine, whatever you prefer. In goes the butter, in goes the brown sugar, and in goes the cornstarch, the cinnamon first, and also in goes the cornstarch. We're using actually tapioca starch, but whatever you have on hand, whichever starch, they all act basically the same. So we're going to mash those all up together, and once they are well combined and all, mashed up together like this, we are going to add in just a tiny trickle of that rum. We don't want very much, but this is all set. This is exactly just about where we wanted it. Just a tiny little bit of that rum in there. And again, you want to make sure that that's well combined. Now, this is a little bit of a tougher method of putting together a bao. These are going to be a little harder to do because of that very liquid filling. So we've got our bao dough. It's been, at room temperature for a little while. It's easy to work. We're just going to spread that out, give it a little roll, and we're going to put it into a cupped bowl here. Get your fingertips wet, and we're just going to pinch that all the way along the outside and make a little bowl out of it. Essentially make a little cup out of it. You're just going to gather and pinch, very similar to how you would a dumpling like a gyoza or something like that. And then once you've got that little cup on the inside, make sure you've got some space in there. And you don't want to overfill these either. You don't want to, put too much filling in there. I'm just going to put a little bit of that filling into each one. We're using about a tablespoon in each one of these. And then you want to very carefully, because that liquid is really sloshy and you don't want any on the outside, it will really prevent it from being sealed up properly. And you just want to very carefully pinch that up all together. Now, we're not experts at this, so they don't look amazing, but they do turn out quite nice. And we're going to turn those over onto some little parchment squares and drop those into a pot for steaming. So we've got a little thing at the bottom there to keep the plate off the bottom of the out of the water. And we're just going to steam those in there, and you can see they puff up quite nicely, and they're all kind of touching each other now. Now, we didn't steam these for as long as we typically would. We took a couple of minutes off the end because we are going to deep fry these afterwards. Now, we're going to let them sort of dry off. We've taken them out of the steamer. We're going to put them into the deep fryer once they've had a little bit of time to sit and they've dried off. Now, if you find anywhere the filling is showing on the outside, you might not want to drop those into your deep fryer like this. But you can see you get those nice bubbles on the outside. It starts getting crispy right away. Please ignore the leftover sesame seeds from something previous that we had put in there. And once they're nice and golden brown, you may need to flip them once. They're ready to go. That's it. They're done. So we let them sit. They got basically down to room temperature again. They were nice and cool. They had dried off a little. They had sort of just evaporated the excess water on the outside. We put them into the deep fryer until they were nice and golden brown. And then right away when they come out, we're just going to give them a little dusting of powdered sugar. And that's it. That's the whole thing. They're all set now. And you can break into one. You can see they're nice and fluffy on the inside. All that filling has reduced a little, actually. It's soaked into the dough some, and the butter is melted. The rum is incorporated nicely with the bananas. It's got really, really lovely flavor, and we hope you'll give this one a try. It's really, really unique dessert and absolutely delicious. If you like this recipe, please do like and subscribe. And if you have any recipes you'd like to see Chef Caleb try on the channel, please let us know in the comments below. We'd also like to thank our patrons over on Patreon. If you'd like to support us there, I'll put a link for that in the description below. And remember to love your food.